Ain't it just so funny how life comes back around? When I was in high school, in a fit of anger one day, I don't know, something happened out here in the garage. In a fit of anger, I punched this glass here and smashed the glass in this window. In my uncontrolled anger. And now, X amount of years later, I'm gonna have to replace that door because it is now my broken door. Ain't that funny? Oh, that looks great. Look at that all sheeted over. We're almost to the point where I can get the sheeting lift and see if we can get the ceiling done. Then it's electrical. We're on a roll. Let me show you something real special.
Oh no, sis, don't ever snowsuit on, no.
Goodbye.
No.
Hi.
Don't say do to me because I'm talking.
Oh.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, babe.
Hello, jumping sissy.
You drew a 1? Yeah, good job. Now you can see how this OSB like steps, and it does that all the way down the front. That's because, as I mentioned, this whole floor here is on a grade, slanted, because it used to be a driveway. So I have to step it down like that. Later, maybe a month, 2 months, I don't know, depending on the time that I get, this floor will be tore up, and then I don't know, maybe I'll rip a nice even line all the way along, put a strip of aspenite, or maybe I'll do like a big wide molding strip of aspenite before I pour the floor. We'll see, but this is how it's going to be for now. Huh? Okay, come on, let's go into the house. Well, a good full belly. My wife put that on this morning first thing. A couple of beef roasts, some potatoes, put it on the pot. Potatoes we did, took them out and did mash. Oh, that feels good. It's not as quite as bright and sunny. It's dimmed down a lot out there now, cooled down a nice bit. But that's fine, because we're sheltered inside. See, we got this corner sheeted over. This piece here is to be shaped a little bit funny because of the cement form there, so I left that out. That's going to be inside the grinder room anyways. I just made the call and arranged tomorrow morning I pick up the sheet lifter, the drywall lifter. So I'm hoping I can get Dad's help, and tomorrow we're going to sheet that over. That would be ideal. Now all of this mess here kind of has to be out, so I think I'm going to put everything back in the driveway. Man, I moved all this stuff so many times. The stack of wood over here, my OSB and lumber and stuff, just keeps getting moved around the shop, but I don't know what else to do. So I'm going to put it in the driveway, tarp it over, and it's going to have to stay there. I'm just going to have to really work fast over the next couple of days, so it really doesn't have to stay out there very long. Maybe I will keep some of the big stuff right in the middle. Table saw, grinder, drill presses, things like that. Maybe I'll keep that right in the middle. We'll see, but we've got a busy afternoon ahead of us. Let's check our fire first. I'll burn down to just a few coals. A couple people asked in one of my previous videos where I showed a glimpse of the furnace here. They were wondering kind of what it was. This is a big insulated furnace with a piping system, a duct system right through the house. It runs off of a blower. So, big insulated stove box. The blower here helps drive the fire inside, so kind of like the design of a forge. Then you've got the draft and a draft right there. But this is a big heat box, essentially. It sits on top of the furnace. When this reaches a certain temperature, a big blower cuts in. Now this here is a joint oil furnace, but that has a big blower in it. A big blower drives a lot of air up through this box and pushes your hot air through your duct system throughout the house. All the smoke is piped out through a chimney outside, but that means you get all the heat and very little of the smoke. So like I said, when that fire down here gets this hot enough, blower cuts in automatically, blows that hot air through all the ducts in the house, all floor ducts throughout. So it's a good system. It's quite common here in Newfoundland. It's not like something real unique or fancy or anything like that. This is kind of like run of the mill here in Newfoundland, what you'll see in a lot of homes. Now Dad and them always burn exclusively wood. Now Dad and them always burn pretty much exclusively wood. All the time, all my years growing up, that's what we burn. And Dad would put about 5 to 6 cords of wood through that stove. It's a really efficient stove. But and the house is really insulated well too. It's a really warm house, so you don't have to be driving the furnace all the time. But Dad would burn roughly 5 cords of wood a winter. I'm looking at switching. I'd really like to switch over and have a new oil tank installed this summer and burn pretty much exclusively oil, and then still have the wood there just for the coldest months of the year. So maybe maybe about 1 quart of wood packed in the furnace room just for the coldest month of the year. Because wood is a lot of work. Just fooling around with all, and you got to be checking it all the time, and the work of getting wood and cutting it up and packing it in and splitting it up, and then you also have the mess in your house. You saw every time that door opens you have smoke wafting out, and you have to be taking out the ashes all the time. Just a lot of mess, a lot of time, and you have to store the wood. So this garage here, maybe some of you guys are wondering why Dad never had this garage done up or whatever. It's because he could never use it as a workshop. It had to be wood storage. So that's just kind of the things that come along with wood heat. So I think I'm going to try to get away from that. If I can justify the expense of burning oil. I've got to look into, talk to a few people, see what the numbers are like, see what you can expect to pay. Of course, it'll be more expensive than wood. Wood is about the cheapest. So wood is, you could pay about $1,000 for a year's worth of wood. So that is pretty cheap in my opinion. And yeah, it'd be nice to switch to oil. I expect it to be more expensive than wood, but more expense is justified if you get to have a lot more room, a cleaner home, and not all that work of dealing with the furnace and stuff. So we'll see as time goes on. I'll certainly keep you guys updated on that. And one of the cool things about living here up on a hill like this and living off the ocean and up over a big valley like this is you can always see the weather that's coming before it gets here. Let me show you what I mean. Do you see this line? You see this wall? That is a snow flurry, looks like. Could be rain, but looks more like snow. Temperature's dropped here, but that is moving out the valley. And I can literally just watch it. There's not a speckle here yet, but within probably 5 minutes or so that will blow out the valley right through town. And it might just be a sheet, it might just blow on past, or could be here for a while, but pretty cool, eh? Look how much it's even moved since I started filming here. And just like that, it's here. You can see the entire harbor is filled with snow. Those are some big snowflakes. Got caught in some bad weather. Turned out to be a little more than I thought. I didn't even think anything was supposed to be coming today. But this is the plan. It'll be all tarped in. I just had to throw it on it now while I'm bringing it out because no point in covering it over after everything's been buried in snow and soaking wet. So hopefully that'll keep the weather off of it. I'm just now realizing that this is what I should have done initially when I brought it here. Just parked it all in the driveway, tarped it in, and left it. I would have probably been a lot further with my shop progress here because I've spent so much time moving stuff around. Live and learn, but that's what I think I should have done. Put it all out there. And just let it sit, sacrifice a few extra days. And the thing in my mind was that I'd move stuff half in, some stuff I'd set up, be able to work around and plug in a few things, which is why I set up, like I put my grinder over here neatly, leveled it up, I put my couple drill presses back here tidily, so I could do a little bit of work, but that is just not feasible until I get this shop sheeted over and some electrical in. I'm just not going to be able to do any work, so I got to get that done as quick as possible so I can get back to your guys' orders. And that's it for another work day, guys. I couldn't film the outro outside because my batteries died. It's time to come in for supper, so I'm in now, probably do some computer work tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button. It really helps with the YouTube algorithms. It tells YouTube that people actually like the video. Same thing happens when you comment, lets people know it's an engaging video, so YouTube promotes your video more and it starts popping up in the side, you know, those suggested videos. So if you could like and comment, that'd be great. Subscribe to my channel if it's your first time here. We'll see you in the next video.